before you express, and you'll recover your love. Virgo moon, Virgo moon. How you feeling? How you seeing yourself? Tender. I'm getting tender. Ooh. Aw. Oh man, you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk. Oh, you do want to talk. This is the Queen of Swords in the traditional tarot, Priestess of Swords. I think this is a little bit, yeah, it is a different energy than the Queen of Swords normally in this Mother Peace tarot. Yeah, you're somewhat icy and detached. The Snowy Owl is definitely talking about death. We've got the full moon here, so right now there is a message like things are not going to be the same. This is a really interesting icy energy that I'm getting just from where she is. That's very different than the summer, vibe that we're here, right? It's almost like you're completely, on the other side of the world in terms of how you're feeling. It's like, I'm so far away from people right now, even if you're right here. This is your experience, this kind of very, wintry, it's, I don't get it's hell freezing over, but there is some, let's look at her face, there is some potential wrath there, and so, I mean, they're saying hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. I'll let you be with that. How are other people seeing it? It's not Sam like me. Justice, well, yeah, there we go. That's kind of the outcome of wielding that sword. I feel like I had talked to y'all about this before, Virgo moon, but I'm having a very weird feeling of deja vu. And this was one of those things where I must have been talking to some of y'all in a dream about this, about being karma. About being karma, which is very interesting. It's a tricky thing. It's tricky. Oh my god, I don't know why BC Boys is coming through. Oh, hey. Alright, sometimes my guys really come through. I have a lot of musicians who've passed who talk to me. It's really interesting. I don't know if that's the Pisces rising. But so, yeah, some word about, music, and to get out of that desolate energy, and that's somewhat where you can be talking to spirits. Your connection to the spirit world is deepening, Virgo moon. I'm getting, you might have just actually acquired mediumship in a more formal way, and that's a big deal, and that is quite alienating, speaking from personal experience. Damn, I'm gonna have to sit up because now sand is in my face. Mad spirits coming through. Alright, justice, being karma. I don't think I have to say much about that. People know, what they're getting and why they're getting it. Just be careful. This is a tricky one, like I said. Let's find out, how you can bridge the gap, because it's not... On the side of, the Pisces side, we tend to err on the side of... My boobs just fell out of this shirt. What's going on with that? Spirit, I almost feel like you're being... There's a little bit of a word about, being haunted. And it's like a friendly energy, but I always think about my ancestors like haunt people on a karmic level. And they beat karma, you know what I mean? Because they know how to deliver those lessons without actually harming anyone, and no harm will come to them. So sometimes, like, they're in the most loving energies. Like, if you mess up with me, you're gonna feel, you know, but they will make sure you feel the fear of God in a healthy way. And, you know, like I said, no harm will come to people. But I've had to learn to trust them, because I used to try and intervene and be like, hey, y'all, you know, the last time I was able to do that and actually intervene on someone's behalf, it was my ex-boyfriend, because I was like, please don't blow up his life. Even I know he messed up. But they were like, okay, this is the last time. That was like at least 5 years ago. Anyway, I'm just getting some messages for you about that, and maybe just talk to your ancestors about how they work, and make sure, like, you know, there's nobody really shady running the show there, because, you know, Virgo moon, it feels petty. Some of it feels petty. That's all right, but, like, that's where you have to be careful. And you know what I mean? With karma, I'm always like, if you're all right with that coming back at you, then fine. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do. Because that's part of it too, y'all, you know what I mean? Some of y'all don't fear, like, karmic repercussions, because you're like, you know what I mean, if somebody did that and this is exactly the case for them, I'll be alright with it. And that's really what it is. So, you know, in sort of bridging that gap, we got Six of Swords. There is really a lot of spirits around you right now. And this feels like a gap. I almost brought a rose here to the beach with me, like a single rose. And so this is really interesting. There's some kind of gathering of goddesses in your spirit tribe, but I think that this is also happening in your life. And in order to, like, rectify, you know, the action that you take, it's like, let the goddesses, you know, heal you, is what it feels like. Help you move away from that feeling of, like, isolation. It's like, you know, we're all coming in. And, yeah, from different tribes and parts of the world. And, gathering, there's something about the circle and, like, you know, full moon, goddess gatherings and things like that. So, I paused your timer because they wanted me to spend a little extra time on you. So yeah, just be in communication with your ancestors. Ritual, go deeper into ritual. Make sure with this person who is passed, you know, that you make a proper altar for them. Of course, you know this, but spend time with it, spend some real time with it. There's a lot of interesting things that come through for me, at least in my interaction with the altar. At this point, they have me, you know, drinking the water that they bless for me on the altar, and eating the offerings even sometimes, because that's how my ancestors are. They're like, these, you know what I mean? You are an ancestor is how they communicate with me. And so, like, this, you know, when you're making that altar, it's almost like, consider that it's also for you. That's one message that's coming through. Okay. Libra moon. We had these two cards. I wish I didn't see Seven of Swords, but I did. I'm not going to take it.